to share with you guys what I have been reading lately. If you watched my previous reading vlog, I read two books. I read The House of Fair by Marissa Meyer and The Keeper of Magical Things by Julie Leong. Well, I read about 200 pages in that vlog, but since then I have finished this book. I don't want to go into too much detail on these two books since I already have a reading vlog, but to give you a very quick summary, The House of Fair is a retelling of Bluebeard, but we're following the great-great-grandson of the Bluebeard character. The great-great-grandson's name is Arman, and he needs help with a ghost situation in his family home. So he asks for some help from our female main character, Mallory. Mallory and her sister are descended from a line of witches, but currently Mallory isn't able to perform any magic. The only thing she has is being able to see ghosts, but she and her sister need money, so they agreed to help Arman. This is a book filled with mystery, it has gothic vibes, there are paranormal creatures, there are ghosts, and it also has a side of romance. The Keeper of Magical Things is a cozy fantasy with mages. The two main characters were assigned by their guild to transport some magical artifacts to a little secluded village. There is found family, there is friendship, there is sapphic romance, and a lot of character growth. The book that I just recently finished yesterday is Conform by Ariel Sullivan. This is an adult dystopian book. I'm currently filming a reading vlog for this one, so if you're interested to hear my thoughts, then please watch for that video that will be coming out soon. The female main character in this book, she is living her mundane life and just waiting to be chosen as a mate for procreation. She finally gets approved, but her mate is not just anyone. He is part of the Ilum group, which is the people who are currently governing and setting the rules for their society. So our female main character has to enter into the elite world, but at the same time, the society is dealing with a rebellion problem, and our female main character can't help herself but feel drawn towards a man from the rebellion group. I would say this is not very plot driven, but it has interesting characters and a lot of drama and a love triangle. Moving on to some books that I started at the beginning of the month, but I have not finished reading them. The first one I want to talk about is All Lovers in the Night by Mieko Kawakami. This is a Japanese translated literary fiction. We're following a woman in her mid-30s. She is working as a freelance copy editor. She doesn't really have any friends. Her only friend is her editor. One day she kind of sees herself and decides that she wants to make a change. So we're following her as she tried to make some changes, but we also look into her past and the pain and struggles that she went through. And making a change is not easy, especially when she's trying to do something to change her life, but the situation just doesn't allow it, and then she gets discouraged. But at the same time, there is also hope in another part of her life. I feel like for fiction books, I can't really binge read it, so I'm just taking my time with this book. I'm about halfway through it, but I feel like every chapter and every conversation takes time for me to kind of understand and grasp the message. So I will keep reading this, but I'm just gonna take my time with it. And then I also started reading Princess of Blood. This is the second book in a romantasy series with Faye. I really enjoyed the first book. I think I actually read up to 126 pages in like one sitting. I know that when I pick this up again, I will definitely be flying through this. The only reason that I stopped is because I was in the mood to read some other books. Since this is the second book, I'm not gonna tell you what happens in this one, but in the first book, the female main character, she enters into the Fae realm and then she was made a servant to one of the noble houses. The head of the noble house then assigned our female main character to help her daughter, who is the heir of the house, in a series of trials because the Fae, when they become of age, they have to go through these trials, and if they pass and are deemed worthy, then they will be given full access to their powers and also immortality. But if they fail, then it could result in death. At the same time, there is also a rebellion happening because the Fae King, he is very, very cruel and he oppresses the Fae. So our female main character also gets roped into this rebellion. The second book, I would say so far reading it, what I really enjoyed is the friendships. Yeah, I cannot wait to continue reading this. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna film a reading vlog for this one or just read it at my own time. I guess we'll see. And then the last book that I started in the beginning of this month is Anathema by Carrie Lake. I have been reading it on my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited. It is a dark fantasy romance. Our female main character, she was found at the edge of these woods when she was a baby, but these woods are considered like kind of evil by the people in the town because anyone who goes near or enter into these woods will end up dead. So the town people also kind of sees our female main character as like unlucky because she was found at the edge of these woods. But there was a grandfather that took pity on the baby, so he decided to adopt our female main character. So this grandfather also has a biological granddaughter, so she and our female main character grew up together, are very close and like real sisters. However, this nice grandpa passed away and his wife, which I don't think is his first wife because they call her step grandmother. Anyway, the step grandmother is kind of a bad person and all she wants is money. So she sold our female main character and her sisters to some men. Where I'm at the story, I'm about 20%. Our female main character is now like meeting this guy that she's being sold to. And then on the other side, our main male character, he is currently working as an assassin for his kingdom. When he was young, his parents were forced to sacrifice him to, I think, like a mage or something. And then our main male character became cursed. So he's now living with this curse and trying to find a way to get rid of it. Again, this is a dark fantasy, so there are some like creepy taboo things going on. So I don't remember if there's a trigger warning page, but check the trigger warning before you start this book. I do think the story is very interesting. However, I don't think I'm gonna continue reading it for now, just because I feel like I would really enjoy this, but I will have to read it when I'm more in the mood for it. So I'm gonna save it for another time when I'm more in the mood to read this sort of story. So those are all the books that I started, finished, and are currently reading. So I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed the little like b-rolls of my November and also a look into what I have been reading lately. The next video will be a reading vlog. Hope you guys stick around and I will see you guys next time.